So it's really like allowing the space to be cleared. It's not that you're losing something, it's that you're gaining space to allow what's aligned for you now to come in. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves because I believe that you are the one that you are looking for. And today we are here to talk about the upcoming Aries new moon. The Aries new moon is happening this Friday, so it will be Thursday evening into Friday morning. It will be at its fullest just around midnight. So if you are on the west coast of the states, it will be full right around 11:30, and then mountain times around 12:30, just before 12:27 to be exact, 1:27 Central Time and 2:27 Eastern Time. We're going west to east. So new moons are always a great time to set intentions. And this is a great time again to be reconnecting with your New Year's resolutions or your goals for the year, revisit your vision board. Aries season and springtime is just a great time to get reconnected with those things that you were getting connected with over your calendar new year. I'm sure you're feeling the energy really picking up right now. I've definitely had a burst of motivation. But also I almost picked up my stuff back here because I'm like, oh, it needs to look perfect. But that's not what this is about. We're not reaching for perfection in Aries season. This is about getting things done for yourself, taking advantage of this energy, letting out some pent-up energy. The energy of it is really kind of like a middle finger F you, but like in a smiling way. The image I got when I was tapping into this new moon energy was Alana and Abby from Broad City when they're being told to smile on the street, and their response is this. This is kind of our Aries energy. I feel like it's a perfect way to wrap up that sassy, I don't give a fuck energy. And this new moon should really be helping kind of solidify that. I feel like we kind of reach these points in the messaging that I get that I tell you kind of to be a little selfish and think of yourself, even though we're in a time where we really need to think in a community way, and we touch on that also. But when we're in this Aries energy, and when I'm talking to you about you, and a lot of the time we need to be better with ourselves in order for our ripple effect to ripple out. And so I've been really focusing on taking my own advice. So I want to have you like kind of try to do that too. It's this energy from the Pisces season to the Aries season, where I'm even being challenged in my own life with certain situations, and I'm having to like sit myself down or look at myself and say, what if I was coaching myself, what would I tell that person? And a lot of the time I am reacting as my clients would, and not taking my own advice. So I'm curious to see what's coming up with you. Let me know what's resonating with you. Aries season started on March 20th. Make sure you go watch the Emperor card reading for all signs. And then Aries season will be over April 19th. And I still am getting tarot scopes out. I promise they'll be out before the end of the season. But remember, these are general energy readings. The messages come to you when the messages are supposed to come to you. So don't get caught up on timing and all that kind of stuff. That time is just a construct. We get the messages that we need when we get them. We'll be closing out Aries season with our full moon in Libra on the 16th, and that will just be a few days before the ending of Aries season. So be sure to keep an eye out for the full moon reading for that. There's also some astrology conjunctions happening and transitions and concentrations of planets in certain signs that is really kind of kicking up the energy in addition to Aries season. So if you feel like things are getting too crazy or overwhelming, give yourself a moment. Just stop for a second. Take a deep breath, reevaluate. As we've already seen out in the world, we are in this energy of reaction right now, and we're really being, it's really being reflected to us how we react, how other people react, where that comes from. And so I'm asking you to have some compassion. I do apologize for not getting tarot scopes out. I started a new job with a local nonprofit, and one of their programs is a bullying prevention program of reaction over compassion, compassion over reaction. And that is through the Project 21 Foundation in Colorado, are based out of Colorado, and their anti-bullying prevention, Pitty the Bully. And I just feel like that's a great connection right now with where we all are at in this seasonal energy. So let's get into the reading for this new moon. So we are using the Modern Witch tarot deck. There it is, by Lisa Sturrow. Love this deck. And then we'll see what oracle deck we use. I've got a couple out, and we'll see what's calling our name when we get to it, because nothing's quite speaking to me yet. If you can, feel your body on whatever surface it's touching. If you're just sitting, if you can put your feet on the ground, just feel where your body is touching surface. So just a little grounding. Take some deep breaths. Okay, so we had, I don't know, oh, it's 3 cards. So I'm gonna say that that was what was supposed to flip up and not my bad shuffling. So the first card is always the general energy of this new moon and what it's bringing to us. 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands. I love the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands for me is very much like the coming home card. It's comes after the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is when, you know, you're kind of looking out. The 2 of Wands is when you're looking out. The 3 of Wands, you're very much waiting for kind of things to return to you. And this is that return. This is that return after a long journey. This is coming home. And it's also about creating a sense of home, or this can also be for families growing, weddings, babies being born, any sort of expansion of like a family unit or a home unit. And this doesn't mean either that feeling is just with blood relatives. It can also be chosen family. It is that feeling, that sense of home that we really need to just create for ourselves within the world and within ourselves. And it's about kind of getting connected to your inner self and your higher power and feeling supported by the universe, so that wherever you go, you have that feeling of home. So I like this because it does kind of play off what we were saying about being a little selfish, worrying about yourself right now,
worrying about, you know, really putting your energy into the things that you need to put your energy to, the things that only you can really handle, what's right in front of you, and making sure that you're prioritizing things correctly. And I've actually had to verbalize this recently because I have things that I need to take care of. And part of the mess in the back is me taking care of my deep spring cleaning that I wanted to do in my house before summer kicked off. And I realized once I got one room done how important it is. And of course I have a job, of course I have my channel, and my mom needs my help right now. We have some other things going on right now. So I'm having to just verbalize to people like, I'm gonna try to do this, or I can do this then, I can do this here, or I can't do that for you right now. I wish I could, but I can't, because I'm having to be really honest with what I can and can't handle. And so that I am grounding within myself and grounding within my spirit. So that, and truly it's like, if, you know, if it's hard for you to say no to people, I hope that you can communicate just how you're feeling. Like I've literally just had to say to my mom, I have to prioritize these things. I have to do these things so that I don't lose it. So that I feel okay within myself, so that I can function out there, so I can help you when you need my help. Okay. So yeah, so let's see what else is coming up. I heard boundaries, but not like, I feel like it's kind of in the next card, like how are we going to like create this sense of home? And part of that is boundaries. And those boundaries are going to lead you to an more inner balance. And when we say balance, we don't mean, or, you know, we don't mean everything's just so even keeled and you just give an even amount of your energy to each thing. That's not realistic. It's really hard to do. And I feel like that's the perfectionist version of balance, and that can make us, you know, feel like a failure. It can make you just not even try, because you're like, well, things aren't perfectly balanced, so I must be failing. And that's not what it's about. Sometimes you have to like ratio your energy, where I can only give you 10% right now because this over here needs 40%, and I need to give 20% to 30% to my family right now, and then save the rest for me. Or sometimes, you know, work gets 80% and everybody else gets 5%. It's making sure that you're not giving more than you can. It's making sure that you're rationing. It's almost like rationing your energy and your time for everything that you can. And there's some times where you have to get 100% of your attention to what's right in front of you. And sometimes that's all you can do. It's a great thing I discussed, or I've had in a couple of my Facebook groups. One of them is an ADHD group that I love. And we talk about like, what are the phrases that, you know, get you through to remind you that it's okay and that you're doing okay. And one of the ones that I came up with last year was, I can only handle what's right in front of me right now. Okay. And that's especially when I'm trying to focus on a task and my brain's like, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? But what about this? I don't have time or energy for any of this over here. And I can write it down so that it's there when I'm ready. But it's about recognizing, like, it's that whole, if you've heard the spoons analogy is very popular right now. It's recognizing that you only have 5 spoons, you know, and sometimes you might have to break one of those spoons in half. It's like, maybe one of them's plastic, you got to break one of them in half because you have to split the time. because there is no way that you can be perfectly balanced. There's no way that you can perfectly balance your energy in an exact, there's no way like you have 100% energy, and there's no way that you can just give 25 over here, 25 over here, 25 over here, and 25 over here. Just, it's unrealistic. And I think it can create a, what is the sense I'm feeling? It creates a sense of, it's not just a sense of failure. It can create a sense of overwhelm. So then it's like, you don't even try. It's creating this like, almost like a sense of judgment, like this inner judgment that is actually being projected on you from the outside world, that then you're turning inward. You're not lazy. You're doing enough. We're all still coming out of the pandemic. We've all have this collective trauma on top of all the trauma that already exists. And it's about kind of giving yourself a little bit of a break and recognizing that how you feel internally is more important. That it's okay if things have to be canceled. It's okay if you have to say you can't do certain things. It's okay if things feel like they're failing. It's okay to not be okay. You're only one person. You're only one person. Okay. I heard the why. I heard this is the why. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. This is interesting because we're kind of going backwards here. And I like this because sometimes when the minor arcana comes up in reverse, it's referencing the card before it. And here we are already. We have the card before it. So again, there's like an establishing a foundation here. And recognizing opportunities, you know, that look shiny and are exciting, but also recognizing opportunities that look like failures. I'm giving a lot of shout outs this time. Links are below for anybody I've mentioned. Because this reminds me of my friend Nicole, who's the founder and like lead of Wildly Alive coaching, and her metaphor for this kind of situation is gifts wrapped in sandpaper, where at the time it doesn't feel like a gift. At the time, it's like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, I'm gonna have to like shut this thing down, or I'm gonna have to walk away from this other thing, or I'm gonna have to watch this thing or this person walk away from me. It can appear like heartbreak. It can appear like trauma even. And that's not to like bypass if you have trauma, or if you have trauma based on like abuse or anything. Those things are not okay. These are those things where it creates a sense of sadness or hurt or worry or anxiety within you, or feeling like you're losing it. It's kind of like creating a sense of that tower moment feeling. But if you just kind of allow it to happen, and be like, you know, kind of look at it like, well, this sucks, but I'm trusting that there's a reason. I'm trusting that I'm going to come out on the other side of this. You know, I'm trusting that there will be a gift at the end of this. This coming at the end, I feel like is like, it's the pot at the end of a pot of gold at the end of a shit rainbow. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, is there poop in the sky? And then it's like, is that a rainbow? It's kind of poopy, but There's still gold at the end of it? That's weird. Because also it's also reminding me of like fool's gold. Like fool's gold, there's that saying about fool's gold that if you scratch it, you would see that underneath it's not as good as it looks. You know, all things that are supposed to come with you, come to you, are not always going to be wrapped up pretty and shining bright. Sometimes the universe has to move things out of our way to clear out that space energetically in order to make space for what's meant to be to come to you. So it's really like allowing the space to be cleared. It's not that you're losing something, it's that you're gaining space to allow what's aligned for you now to come in. Okay, let's glance at the bottom of the deck. Oh, I love when I mention other cards, and then there they are, the Tower in reverse. I said there's like a weird tower feeling coming up with this. It's so weird, and it's like an internal tower feeling. How weird. Hello. Do not fear the tower, okay? Do not fear it. It is there. It's there to help us. Even if it doesn't feel like help at the time. Okay. Let me know if you need any extra support on this. If things are feeling a little out of control right now and you need some answers, it's a great time to book a one-on-one session with me. My links are attached. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. Let's pull a postcard from Spirit by Colette Baron Reed, because these are just like little love notes from the universe and from the spirit world. And right now, with everything going on, it seems that I feel like it just was a time to bust these out, because we all need some extra loving reminders. Ooh, let's do that one. I'm kind of kicked out there. You are magic, it says on the back. Dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up, and start that hustle towards your goals and dreams. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. There's that Aries energy. Now is the time to make that first move. Say yes to life. Pick up the phone, make that decision, and take that one step towards the gods, or us, Spirit. It's funny that it had pick up the phone in there. Side note, if you're neurodivergent, we were talking about that in my group also. Phone calls are not always that easy to make. If you can email first, or if you know who you're calling. Expect a cascade of changes, good news, and opportunities to show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really Spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. Take positive action toward your dreams, even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda. It will all be orchestrated by Spirit and arrive in divine appropriate timing. Hello. Even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda, it will all be orchestrated by Spirit and arrive in divine and appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. Spirit. Yay! I also need this reminder. And I feel like I keep getting little reminders from Spirit all the time that things sometimes just take the time that they take. And that's why we really have to work on not comparing our journeys to others. Because there are a lot of, influencers and leaders and coaches that are great and they do great work and they help people. But as I've been
building my business kind of in tangent with a lot of these people, I see how some people just grow faster. And I've had to accept that that's just not my journey, and that my business is growing the way it's supposed to. So I hope you can apply that to something that maybe you're waiting on. There are certain things that just kind of take their time, but we also have to remember that the first part of this message was there are times to be still, but this is not one of them. So it's recognizing what you can take care of right now in front of you and what you can just let go for a little while and let spirit take care of, okay? Cool. Thank you so much. Go watch the Aries season Emperor card reading for all signs. Keep an eye out for your tarot scopes. They'll be out soon. And for each sign. And I will see you for the full moon. Bye.